This model kit review is of the Toyota GT1, the TS020, and this racing car is a 1/24th scale model by Tamiya. There's the parts listing there, and some pictures there of the car from the side, as well as the colors. Some details there, including dimensions, front and back there. And there's the top, that's with the rear on, that's with the back off. Let's have a look inside and see what we've got. Got a number of screws here. So first off, let's have a look at the main body here. The body is very nicely molded. We've got a great level of detail. Look at these vents, they're just so clean and well molded. Same with the headlights. That's just beautifully molded. Next, let's look at our clear glass. And take that out the packet there. So have a look. That is beautifully molded, nice and shiny. With some side glass there. Headlights, just beautifully molded. Nice and crisp molding. Okay, next we've got our chrome parts and some white parts. Here's air intake there. Their chrome is much more nicely molded or painted than the Revell. We've got some radiators, some more engine parts. Here's our turbos, and then our exhausts. Got our mirrors there. That is just very nicely molded. Okay, over here we've got our seat. We've got some air intakes, some more ducts and vents. Here's our looks like our dashboard, instrument panel, some more parts for the cockpit here, and I guess more air ducts. We've got our wheels, very big disc brakes with the brake calipers molded on, and side mirrors there. There's a nice little scoop. Look at that, beautifully molded. Okay, now this last sprue here is all black, a nice solid sprue. We've got a chassis here. Over here we've got our cockpit tub here with looks like air intake or parts of the radiator. We've got our wheels. Let's look at the other side here. Nicer detail there. Look at that. Some front wheels there and some rear wheels. We've got our suspension parts, a windshield wiper, and then here's our engine block with the transmission attached, steering wheel, suspension parts, more engine parts there, all very cleanly molded. This is typical Tamiya quality. We've got some subframe suspension parts there, some more grills, air intakes. There's our pedal box. This is just beautifully molded, and then there's of course our wing and our front splitter. Now over here we've got our tires, and these are smooth racing tires. We've got some poly caps there for the wheels, so they'll probably end up turning. Very nicely molded. Okay, next we've got our decals. So let's have a look here at our decals. Looks like we've got two sets of decals here. No, actually more. So these are our masks for the windshield, and then we've got these decals here, beautifully printed. The seat belts. Typically for those seat belts, I don't just put them on because otherwise it looks stupid. I actually will cut out a piece of tape and actually this is kind of what it looks like. So it's tape with on both sides of some aluminum foil, gives it some ability to stay, but it also gives it some thickness and makes some seat belts out of that. And over here we've got these decals, also beautifully printed, all for the outside. Okay, let's have a look at our instructions. We've got some details here about the car, and this was for the Le Mans race, and it says you finished second after a tire blowout. So let's have a look inside here. Lots and lots of instructions to go through. So we're going to start off here with our engine, and then put our suspension on there. Start to build the rear axle, and then there's our air intake for the engine. Next, we're putting the exhaust together, as well as our so that's our air intake there. Then we start to build the this is called the monocoque, or the undersurface. So really the cockpit chassis. We've got our wheels, brake discs going on there, the wheel hubs. The rest of the front suspension's going together there, as well as our, looks like probably radiators there on the side. Building the rest of our doors, and then our cockpit is built, including the seat, and that's how to paint it. And over here we're putting the engine as well as the cockpit onto the chassis, and then starting to put our vents on there, as well as looks like some decals. Some more vents going on there. We started to put our glass on. This is on the front bodywork. And rear glass as well there. We've got all that being mounted then on the chassis, and then now our air ducts. Okay, over here we've got our brake cooling, and then our wheels, the rear cowling. Don't forget to make an antenna by stretching the sprue. Putting our wheels on, as well as our rear tail, and then our rear cowling. Don't forget your side mirrors there. Then we've got lots of decals here to look at. So here are all the decals and their numbers. These racing cars had lots and lots of decals. So all in all, that's a great model, great decals, great detail, very well molded. That's beautiful.